Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Larry Loke. This is Public Discord, and we've got a group of individuals here to speak on topics that are local, national, as well as international. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Gentlemen, we got a new president, all right? Or at least, beyond the Q conspiracies, we got a new president. All right, now there's a lot of things that I'm looking at that have built up to this, and I got a few questions. So let's start off with them. All right. First and foremost, uh, let's get heavy. The Capitol, the sieging, the siege of the Capitol. 60 minutes of infamy. Let's talk about it. Who wants to start this?
Honestly, I was surprised it went as far as it did go.
Okay.
Like I'm not sure if you guys seen. I'm not sure if you guys seen the videos where like the protesters are like pushing up against the police, then the police eventually like give way and they just like let them walk right in there. I mean, the matter of the fact is they just let them walk in there.
It wasn't a hard job.
Yeah, it wasn't a hard job at all. Plus something a lot of people have to also realize: a lot of those people at the protests are ex-military people. Like even the lady who got shot, she was ex-military. You know what I'm saying? So like these aren't regular people. They're
and notice how they stormed the Capitol without no gas
right,
too. I'm like, damn,
right,
where they gas?
right.
Where they all type of technology at?
I mean, these motherfuckers were climbing the walls too and shit. Like these motherfuckers were ex-military, And if anything knows how bad the government is, and if anybody has any anger towards the government, I think it should be people who used to be in the military because they do the dirty jobs for the government, do they not? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, okay.
And that's something I don't think is being spoke about a lot in the narrative that's going around. Like the lady who got shot, she was ex-military. She was in the Air Force.
Now, see, in regards to that situation, that's what kind of blows me right now is what people, in my opinion, need to understand is you're in trouble when everybody's mad.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all mad about this, or it seems like people are mad about the same thing, the government, but certain people like to use the government to get their way. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like to me, but people don't understand that, or they're letting us get pit against each other, just with different things like real extreme talk on both sides. Like, come on, for real. Like, I don't know. In the Latin culture, you got the cuckoo monster. Oh, he's coming. It's just certain things, man. I don't know. Everything is blown out of proportion. With that shit, they were wrong. They were stupid. I'll give you like that. Them motherfuckers were stupid. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck you think's gonna happen going into a federal building, breaking shit? But anyway, you know what? Debo, what you gotta say about it, man?
Well, as far as them breaking in, like my man said right here, they were let in, bro. So all that people saying they broke in stuff, that's false, man. Anybody break into the Capitol? The doors were open. I even saw people help. You saw the lady with the wheelchair with no arms, no legs. The police was helping her.
Yeah.
Come on,
You
bro.
sure that shit wasn't Photoshop, man? Fake news.
I mean, that's
shit.
so staged,
She ain't storm shit. And the whole thing is, man, I mean, I don't even think that it was more or less that they was in. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of the people that worked at the Capitol was probably in on it, but I don't think it was just that. I think it was more or less they didn't want to hurt nobody. You know what I mean? That's what I think the biggest thing was. They didn't want to hurt nobody. They was more like, let them in, put them on camera, lock their ass up later, like they doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the riots. Like the riots, they didn't go up in there trying to storm people. They started watching the cameras, locking people up later.
Right. Plus the cops didn't want to protect these motherfuckers because for like a full year, they've been saying fuck the police. You know what I'm saying? So the police didn't give no shit to like these people. You know what I'm saying? So they just pretty much allowed them just to walk in there, cuss a ruckus. They just want to make a scene. That's all it was, just a scene. Yeah. It was all planned.
But it was a little. That shit was whiny to me though, bro. You don't go do no shit like that because the guy you want to win don't win. I mean, that's childish. I mean,
I'm not
win. You don't win. Deal with it for the next 4 to 8 years like everybody else got to do. I mean, when they got to win, I don't care who win or who lose anyway. I know one thing. Like I say, some people don't believe this, but I believe And Larry knows it's not that I believe what he believes. We both know this government gonna keep going forward no matter who is in charge. Like the agendas that were set in 2019, I mean, they're gonna be still going into place no matter if Biden or Trump was to win that shit. That shit gonna still, the plans that was on the table are still gonna be in place. You know what I mean? We've seen it. We've been living long enough to see no matter who the president is, once something is set into place, it's gonna keep going. Regardless of who the new president is.
The deep state.
The deep state, exactly.
But now these corporations, man. Anybody want to touch on that subject before we go to the next one?
No.
Yeah, I'll
They
touch
are the
on.
deep state, the corporation.
No. Go when they ran into the Capitol.
Check this out, man. You had people. First of all, White House security is Walmart security. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who just security guards. So I don't know any security guard that's really gung ho about their job like that. Something like that. Like that's bananas. So, but I don't really think they did anything different than liberals did all summer. They broke into place and they stole stuff. That's been whole 2020. Breaking somewhere, your stuff. So that here's just an outrage for me. That in was it May? That people were calling me, FaceTime me like, yo, bro, let's go loot. Like, man, it's sweet over here at Coleman Mills or whatever. Like it was Amnesty Day. Like let's go. But all of a sudden, when it's a federal building, those same people are like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So no,
I'm with you on that, bro. But I'm more like on the opposite side of the spectrum of that. I felt like when people were getting their asses killed for not having no gun on them, that's when motherfuckers should have stormed federal buildings or courthouses and shit. You weren't supposed to go loot nobody's business that they have anything to do with. I mean, that's like me. I'm out here selling shoes and socks. What the fuck I got to do with y'all? Why I gonna tear my shit up as a motherfucking police officer?
I could fully agree with that, bro. But I'm saying the outrage. I'm not talking about the practice. The practice is stupid anyway. But the outrage is insane. So my whole thing about storming, because like you said, it was what 60 minutes of terror. That was hilarious. But when that happened, you got to understand, this is the first president that didn't start a war in 4 years. His whole term, no wars. He didn't escalate. You know what I'm saying? So when you got military fighting for a man who never issued a military order, you know what I'm saying? That's the people talking. That's the people talking that don't make liberal media. You know what I'm saying? Liberal media all about gays and save black women and all that. These are the people who pay taxes.
Y'all want me? Who want to start? Because I start off like this. I don't like that motherfucker.
Okay. Now let's. Okay.
I don't trust that motherfucker. I don't like that motherfucker.
All right. We broke up. So we broke up. So let's talk about the next topic, man. That's a great intro. All right. So we're gonna talk about our next president, Sleepy Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I personally like to start calling them sniff and blow.
That's cute.
But it's just me. Anybody who knows the history can look it up. I'm not defaming or nothing. It's out there. But that in saying that, Debo, it sounded like you had something to say about our future president.
Yeah, I say I don't trust that motherfucker. I don't like that motherfucker. And anybody who down with that motherfucker that's retarded as the motherfucker himself. The thing is, he showed you who he is. He told you who he is. He ain't even hiding it. I mean, and people act like this dude a great savior. Like, you finna come save us from some shit. Like I said, people just so tired of Trump, man. If Satan was elect president, they'd vote for Satan because they tired of a motherfucker. They don't want to do research and kind of hold back that emotional shit. You know what I mean? When they choose. That's the reason he there. Because of emotion, bro. I'm keep it real.
Yeah.
Would you like to chime in on this, man? Yeah, you've been kind of silent this discussion, man.
Also, the people. Okay.
Oh,
yeah. Whoever wants to jump in, man. But I know, like I said, I know Brim and Crow really haven't spoke yet.
Oh, go ahead and speak, brother. I'm busy.
Because mostly everything that's being said, I'm pretty much in agreement with. It's not nothing that it's not being said that I'm not pretty much in agreement with. It's pretty much it is what it is already. As far as Joe Biden go, I mean, just be prepared for the next 4 years. That's all I can tell anybody. Don't
How do,
worry
you,
about.
how do you feel about Trump? Why do you hate Trump? Do you like Trump? Do you understand Trump?
I mean, personally, when it comes to politics, I don't look at none of it personally, like on an emotional level, because I don't know any of them.
Okay.
So the only thing I base pretty much my decisions on electing a public official is the policies that they stand for.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when I look at Trump, it's like this. This is the mind frame that I have. If I live in this house, let's just say address is at 3210 Washington. I'm gonna take care of 3210 Washington. I'm not gonna worry about nobody in another apartment building across the street or another house around the corner. I'm gonna take care of what's going on in my house. And that's one thing I can say I respect a little bit in Trump, that he put, this country and the citizens here kind of like first. He tried to level that playing field out. So if nothing else, you can respect him for that. As far as ain't nobody gonna say everything you like.
Perfect.
Everybody got their own mind frame or their ideas, and everybody might not be racist, but people have preferences, and they're gonna go with what they like first. So he's Caucasian, of course he's gonna take care of Caucasian people. I mean, who wouldn't? If you're black, you're gonna take care of black people. That don't mean that you're racist. That don't mean that you're prejudiced. It just means I'm gonna take care of my own first, but I'm still gonna look out for everybody else. And Trump just took care of the country. So out of all the bickering and how everybody want to look at it, I mean, he took care of home first. And you got to respect the person that's going to take care of home first.
He had the magic wand. He had the magic wand. If you remember, Barack Obama, before he left office, he said to get our GDP above a certain percentage, and get the companies back, you need a magic wand. Trump found the magic wand that he was talking about, because the numbers that he had mentioned actually came about. See, people don't like to talk about those things. Like, they don't want to talk about everybody who's getting off on the federal charges for bullshit. There's everybody has their ways, you know what I'm saying? And people may not like them, but I'm gonna tell you like this. This is my fear in regards to the Joe Biden presidency, okay? Either he's gonna try to take guns, or he's gonna try to force a vaccine, and somebody's not gonna like it, and it's gonna turn into a scene from V from Vendetta. You know what I mean? That's my biggest fear. And see, the thing is, right now, the right's no longer back in the blue. You know what I'm saying? Or they can at least understand when a kid gets their ass kicked for just being somewhere they ain't supposed to be, or what the police feel they ain't supposed to be, because now they're not getting preferential treatment and they're seeing the government in a different way. Now, see, tinfoil hat people like myself, I've already seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've been had my fucking antennas up, looking at all this crazy shit. I saw shit happening 20 years ago. My fear is that we're gonna have something that's gonna look like the Patriot Act, but on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something. That's something that's scarier than somebody who says mean things to me. But in going into that topic, if anybody else doesn't want to touch Joe Biden, he likes his legs touched evidently. But
yeah, I can chime in real quick.
All right, cool.
I definitely agree with all you guys about Joe Biden. Something about has always been for lying. He's been known for plagiarism. He's been known for taking people's speeches. Let's not even talk about the crime bill.
That's true.
So I don't even know how he even have a political career. I don't even know how he even have a political career.
Yo,
because I was like, this dude's funny style. Like he was kind of put on blast by his own constituency, about being a liar and stuff. So I had no idea how he ended up being the vice president in the first place. So now that he's president, I probably expect him to do a lot of lying. Yeah. So I'm not really expecting too much of anything, really.
Well,
Okay.
as far as Joe Biden getting being Obama's running mate, he was just there because he's a negotiator. He's a hell of a negotiator between the aisles, between the
Political
Democrats and Republicans.
capital.
He shouldn't
That
have
There's also Joe Biden
a
been trying
career.
to be
Okay, this guy
president
was
his whole
caught
career.
on film lying about.
Yeah, I
It
mean
don't make sense.
that's what he do though. I mean
dude,
that's what he do. He's a liar,
they buried
negotiator.
his kid's
Like
story, and
he
he's
was
the
about to
big
lose his
guy,
career.
dude. The he's the big guy. You heard about the Hunter Biden thing, right? With the
Yeah.
laptop and the
I
crack
don't
and
understand how he became a big guy when his own peoples wanted to get him out the way.
well, see, that's the thing. I personally believe in that situation. His kid was leaning on his daddy's name, getting these contracts, thinking his dad was never going to become president. You know what I'm saying? Personally,
With
that's
the
me
Hunter
being,
Biden,
thinking the best case scenario of this situation with his kid. You know what I'm
with the
saying?
Hun-
With the Ukraine and the China and the crack
yeah.
and the
I mean, I'm okay
laptop.
with people looking out for their peoples. That's fine with me. Like whatever. People gonna look out for their peoples. I don't care about that, you know. I just care about people straight up lying, you know, and being a consistent liar for like 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy's not a new liar, you know, he's been a politician for a long
Yeah.
He whispers sweet
time. Like,
nothings.
yeah, you're supposed to look out for your people. Shit. If I had it, you know, I'm gonna give 80% to my family and 20% to y'all, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way it is, whatever. You know, I just don't want to be lied and manipulated blatantly and bogusly too. In my face directly like that, like I'm stupid. These people treat me like I'm stupid. It's like, come on now, guys.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
I understand it. I'll keep it real. It's not even
That's the
Biden.
most
It's
insulting
the
thing. Is
whole
like, come on now,
DNC
guys,
to
I'm not
me.
stupid.
If you ask me, it's the whole DNC, bro. They treated us all like we were stupid, bro. I mean,
Well,
I don't
because
even
we
consider
are.
myself a Democrat. Earlier, Larry told me, yeah, I think Debo most definitely. And I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I used to work on the Obama campaign back in when he was still senator and everything. Yes, I was real left-leaning. But now, bro, as old I get and life experiences and
I
paying
voted
more
for
attention to
Obama.
what
no, I voted for Barack too. The
dude, I was
first
on his
time.
campaign and everything.
Everybody
Yeah,
did.
First
he
time.
backed him.
But
The
here,
first time. I voted for him the first time too.
okay, wait. Let me
Second
ask
time,
y'all
I
a
was like,
question.
fuck Obama.
Let me ask y'all a question. Who's the most popular president?
Right now, but you know, back then.
Nah, who's the most popular presidents of your lifetime? Give me three. The three most popular presidents of your lifetime.
John F. Kennedy.
If I had to say the most popular president, it would either be
John F. Kennedy, Barack
it would
Of your
be
lifetime.
Obama,
No, you
and
weren't
John
born
F.
in
Kennedy
John
and
F. Kennedy.
Roosevelt.
That don't count.
John F. Kennedy.
Unless you a lot older. Unless you ain't cracking that much, bro. You weren't around when JFK got his noodles. You know, I'm just. No,
I know my
but in
history.
your lifetime, since you were born,
In your lifetime, since you were born.
It used to be.
I mean,
Used to be
Clinton.
Bill.
We got Clinton. You know, everybody liked him.
Bill
Obama,
Clinton,
fucking everybody
Obama.
loved
Barack
him.
Obama.
Clinton,
You know,
Obama,
and
Trump. And Trump.
And Trump and Ronald Reagan, right? So that's four, right?
Dare I admit it?
Now, Ronald Reagan, check this out. Ronald Reagan got 45 million votes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Bill Clinton got 54 million votes. Barack Obama got 69 million votes. These are the most popular men of our lifetime. Trump popular, 75 million votes. Nobody even fuck with Biden.
No.
So how you come up with 80 mil?
On top of Trump's vote, you know, so that's like over
On
200.
top of Trump's vote.
Yep.
That's to get 80 million votes. It's only 66 million registered Democrats.
hanging chads in 2000, man.
So,
Hanging chads
so
in
you
2000.
telling me?
That's
You
huge.
telling me that
Those are big
70?
time numbers.
Let's do the math, bro. 75 plus 80 is what? 155.
Yeah.
155 million adults in America voted during a pandemic. We ain't counting the people on parole and probation that can't vote. You know what I'm saying? We're not counting kids that's under 18. We said out of 300 million people, more than half went out to vote on one election. And it's never happened before, ever. I didn't vote. So,
Hey, but bro, you gotta understand, bro. There are kids who are now of age to vote, and it's millions of them more than it is our generation and the previous generation above us.
nah, bro.
We made them.
When it
You got to think about it.
when it goes to that goes to like the validation of the votes.
Plus the women.
One of the things that hurts like the whole like Biden campaign is at the last minute the Democrats voted to change certain laws, so like the votes won't have to be verified. Like you don't have to check their address, no name. You could just click, you just like check the box. send it in, and it counts as a vote.
And,
like
and if
You want me to show my ID for a gun, but I don't got to do shit to vote, right?
Yeah.
you don't have to be a citizen to vote. They let illegals vote.
Right. I mean, it's just funny business. It's hypocrisy and funny
it's
business
funny
that I
business.
just don't appreciate.
You telling me that
I agree. It was all.
Biden,
I agree that it was all a setup, but I don't think it was because of the people mailing in votes to set it up. I believe it was internal. They select. They don't elect.
no, I
don't
totally
elect.
agree. But that's my
Select.
point. That's
Bro,
my
they
point.
fucked over
So,
Bernie. They
Have
fucked.
you
I
guys
may
ever-
not agree with him on his politics, but I saw him rape Bernie, and then he came back like, okay,
yeah,
I'm ready to play
they
ball
did.
again. Fuck you. Like,
But I get that. So here's what I'm saying. I don't think anything about Biden because Biden was selected, not elected. So I have to look at the DNC. And the DNC lost more minority male voters after Obama. After all the hope and change, and you saw what happened, you saw a color and said, "Man, I'm gonna vote for this crayon,"
Yeah.
and then he said, "Oh, I'm voting for the rainbow." He lost. Democrats really lost by putting their first black president in. They lost a lot of their constituency. Now that I looked at the DNC, what you call the convention. It looked like an LGBT brochure. The only two men in that whole convention for 3 days was Biden, and Obama did a Zoom. He didn't even show up. Everything else was black and Latino women, a couple of gay white women, you know what I'm saying, a couple female vets. Everything was woman, woman, woman. They already knew who their constituency was for. So even with that, even to the point that when men said, like Jay said, like, yo, I studied. I looked at the candidates and I said, this isn't for me. They started shaming men like, yo, you hate women if you don't vote for Biden. Like, what the hell that got to do with anything? The fix was in so hard. Man, you telling me that a dude that only got 17 million votes in the primary, 80 mil in the general? Man, there's nobody that gets that type of excitement during a pandemic in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? I can't get that many people to come to Beyonce concert in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Since the fix is in, and since you know the fix is in, because you know it's part of the social conditioning, right? So you telling me you found a pedophile pervert and his running mate was a chick who got 0 votes. Do you understand what 0 is? She got 2% of the vote when she was running for president. It's a plus minus 2%. So she had 0. So you got a 0 chick and a dude who they was calling Sleepy Joe, Pedo Joe, all types of unelectable, and he got 80 million votes. Look, man.
Also,
and that's why I say give credence to the guys who had those rallies, but they were wrong for breaking other shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying thank you,
I feel
but
like if the government wanted to stop them, the government could stop them. The government of the United States got mad technology we don't even know about. They got all type of shit going on. If the U.S. government wanted to stop them, they can stop them. And don't be fooled on what they show on the media, because I guarantee the government is 20 years above whatever technology they're showing us today. They know everybody who was there. They got their faces. They got everything on them. Everything. So don't think for a second that the U.S. government couldn't have stopped them. It don't make no sense.
And also now, since Trump is banned on Twitter, he can't tell us about the UFOs like the president of Israel promised.
They just reinstated him.
Let's get into the censorship. Gentlemen, let's get into censorship. Let's get into the censorship, because I'm gonna tell you like this.
He back,
bro.
Back this morning.
Bro, personally, look, I got mad when they banned Alex Jones. I got mad when they banned Farrakhan. I got mad when they banned.
Who was Farrakhan?
Yeah, I got mad because I believe in a fair exchange of ideas. You know, I may think you're dumb as fuck, but I have to give you a reason to speak, because if not, you're gonna build that shit up inside. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to tell me so I can say, you know what, the wheel is made this way. It's not gonna work as a square.
Here's
You know what I'm
also
saying?
here's also how
Like,
Bro,
and when
freedom
they got rid of
speech,
Ron
man, you
Paul,
right.
I said, you motherfuckers. When they got, because Ron Paul's will put me on to liberty and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had the tastes of it with 1984, Animal Farm. Like, certain shit just ain't right, and I'm not gonna have it. I learned the Constitution. You know what? Boom. And then they fuck around, and a libertarian like Ron Paul gets
I got a question for you
ejected.
though, real quick. A real quick question. Hold on. Hey, look, one question real quick, bro. Listen, but don't you think because these are private corporations and stuff, they got the right to ban whoever they ban? I can see if they were like, part of the government, but low key, a lot of these are private corporations, and
I
at the
can
end of
answer
the day,
that.
I run my
Hey,
business and
Whoa, whoa, let me,
whoever I want to ban.
wait.
no,
You know
no,
what
no.
I'm saying?
Hold on, Brim. Let me pardon me real quick. Let me just say one thing.
Take
That's
them out.
fine
I can see it.
until it becomes when it becomes where government and technology come hand in hand.
Not
Okay.
even more than that.
Now remember, there's been platforms they've been saying for years, if you don't like it, build your own. But now they're shutting down your own. You see what I'm saying?
No, better than that. Better than that. America, by the 14th Amendment that freed the slaves and made you a prisoner if you get locked up. The 14th Amendment said in order to satisfy the loss of property of slavery, America is a corporation. So if America is a corporation, and we've all been saying during this whole time that the deep state and corporations run the government, so you can't tell me that a private corporation has the right to do anything. Because the only criteria that I have is no shirt, no shoes, no service. That is unilateral. When you start coming in, like Loke knows, I had to change my gender on social media to a woman just so I could say stuff.
Yeah.
What the
Because
fuck?
every time I said
Oh yeah.
something
It's
conservative
real like
that
or
that.
hetero,
works. That
they
works.
kept putting me in Facebook jail. You know what I'm saying? I watched how before Trump, I watched how all of the conservative voices on social media was getting banned in October, just so they could have a 30-day before the election happened. I've been watching this for a minute. You can't tell me that corporations aren't the. If you once you put the voice of America, plus you have Article 230, so no matter what I say, you're not liable. So what you're telling me is, hold on, I'm gonna say this. What you're telling me is this is all Democrats. Bill Clinton killed deregulation, so all of the companies can consolidate, all the the media corps. Then turn around, Obama sold the internet to France, to the UN, so we lost our ability to have our First Amendment rights, dictated to the internet. So all these liberals keep knocking at your First Amendment. First Amendment. You don't have you can't say shit unless it's what I want you to say. Yep. So
yes, sir.
All what's gonna happen is what happened in DC. All the people who don't have a voice on the internet, the ones that get blocked and banned, they got to go to Parler and Reddit and all that stuff. They plotting, and when they mad, they getting everybody from the Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and they gonna run this motherfucker, and they gonna do what they gonna do. And the reason being is because they saying, yo, our voices aren't being heard because we believe in family structure, marriage, heterosexual sex. You know what I'm saying? That if I pay my taxes should go on services that I want, not for services for everybody else. I don't have a voice in anything. This is slavery. And if you're gonna make me a slave in the land of the free, watch my feet. And you can't tell me that corporations have a ability to take that away from you. Yeah, you can get what's going to end up happening is, because this is collusion. If Facebook blocked me, Facebook blocked me, they blocked me. Twitter blocked me, they blocked me. When Facebook, Twitter, Parler, Instagram, everybody, that's collusion. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to bring you up on the RICO Act.
Theorist. Sir, you are a conspiracy theorist, sir.
No, that's what happened. That's a RICO Act.
I got my videographer here, y'all.
Hey, all right. Well, getting into that, this is what I could say. It seems like within the last year, there's a lot of angry people, right? There's a lot of angry people. There's angry people on the quote unquote left that are extremists. There's a lot of angry people on the quote unquote right that are extremists. So this gets to my last point, is something that's scary, and I'm not saying I want this shit. I'm saying that it's been talked about. Secession's been talked about from states. There's people talking about civil war. You see the clashes. Let me ask you all a question. I want to know if anybody want to jump in. Troy, I know I've seen your post where you talked about civil war, man. You know what? Let's talk about it. We're running out of time. We got 10 minutes on this joint, and we know they're serious. So let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up with this.
You know what?
Well,
All right,
I'll
I'll
put it
go.
like this, bro.
Ask the
I'll go
question.
first.
I think
Because I gotta go.
I think if there is a civil war, the way it's going to come about, it's going to be through the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like our currency is going to be divided. We're going to be divided by different platforms. You know what I'm saying? And it might be some physical here and there, but I think most people are scared. Most people just want to stay in their houses and not leave if given the right to. You know what I'm saying? So I think when it comes down to that, I think if there's a civil war, it's going to be fought through the internet. It's not going to be fought through the streets. If we get
Well, I'll say this, bro. I don't predict the Civil War. I predict more of like what happened on DC. That's not a civil war, bro. That's more of a
Just more civil
insurgency.
unrest. You think there'll be more?
More
It's not.
No, I believe not even. I wouldn't even call it civil unrest anymore because you're gonna have more than just citizens involved in it. You feel me? I believe everybody. I think it's gonna be pushed to the point, bro. It's gonna be pushed to the limit where everybody, even police officers and federal agents, feel like we got to get these motherfuckers out of here. It's gonna be like the Capitol on steroids. Again,
So you think that
that's what I predict.
the angry people are gonna find a way to put pressure on the system? That's what you're saying? We're gonna
I believe
stop
the angry
looking
people
at.
I believe the angry people. I believe the angry people gonna find what they have more in common, more other than what they have been divided. See, divided cock only lasts for so long, bro. And once that shit wears off, once that illusion wears off, everybody gonna be angry and realize that all of us, black, white, whatever, all of our grandmothers have the ability to lose the farm. You know what I mean? All of us. That's the type of shit that's gonna make everybody unite, and it's like a dog fight. You can make two dogs fight against each other for so long before they turn around and say, hey, this the motherfucker that's doing it. Let's bite this motherfucker together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's what's gonna happen, bro. They forcing it, Joe. Like you say, they taking away our freedom of speech. Only way you gonna get them to keep freedom of speech is with the First Amendment, the freedom of bear arms. They gonna take away that, and them the two that's gonna fuck it up. They doing it in this term. I see it happening in this term, bro. Both of them. They already doing it with the LGBT thing. Think about it. You can't say certain things about gay people without you losing your job, your Facebook account. Sometimes got them in your family. You know what I mean?
Dude, they had a kid that snitched on his family for being part of the Capitol deal.
Yeah, the girl. Okay, you know what? I don't think it's gonna be a civil war. There's already civil unrest. I don't care about extremists because it's always extremists. Always. What I think is secession. I think it's gonna be secession. And I'll tell you why.
Let them go support it, son.
Because of the technology that we have now, the ability for people to create their own. Like I talk secession all the time. I was like, yo, shut up. Like in order they keep weaponizing race, but the truth of the matter is most white people were immigrants because they didn't want black people working. So most white people, this nation right now, aren't even part of it. They gotta send white people to college and take gender studies classes and stuff to tell them that they're racist and sexist. Like they gotta program you in such a way. What I think is gonna happen is what Texas has been talking about for 10 years, what I've been talking about for 2 years, is like, yo, let us do our own thing. We can be cool over here, you know what I'm saying? And we can use natural. That's why you see all these different currencies popping up out everywhere. Everybody talk about Bitcoin, but it's a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep saying everybody trying to get with a nationality. What's going to end up happening, because I'm doing this now, only one friendly nation for 20 men, and it's a nation within the borders, and that's the Native Americans. But nobody talks to the Native Americans. They got their own nation. What I said is everybody's talking about race, but they're not talking about nationality. The only people that talk about nationality are people who are really indentured into the American national cause, which are the same people that ran up on the White House, and people who go back to their culture, their flag, their pledge, they ideology, and they say this is what we are. The Kenyans do it, the Haitians, the Nigerians, everybody go back to what their culture is. So secession is easy in its melting pot because you, say if you live in Chicago or Boston or stuff, you already know what segregation is. So it's not hard to say, you know what, we just Texas, we gonna ride out. You know what I'm saying? The Lone Star State, or you know what I'm saying, or we just indigenous people. We gonna Montana and you know Arizona, whatever, and it'll be easier because we're living in a time now that you got to call a man she. You know what I'm saying? We're living in a time now where people can just whatever their fantasy is, they just do that, and other people got to roll with it. So if your fantasy is session, this is the time because ain't nobody going. Ain't gonna be no civil war. You know what I'm saying? It's just not because
I actually disagree with you though, bro. I think I disagree with you real quick. I think there is a civil war going on. I think the civil war been going on. I think that it's just now bubbling to the surface so everybody can see this war has been going on for at least 5 years, maybe longer.
Well,
And I think the other homie's right too in regards to it being fought in a different way, not like boots to ground, but like more so information wars, internet wars.
well, I just think this: the Civil War ain't gonna be like it's not gonna be like it was, you know, in the 19th century, so to speak. I think it's going. I think it's going to be more like small little insurgencies. Like they might shoot them all up, or somebody might, you know, it's going to be things like that I think will happen. I don't think it's going to be like, you know, half the country's really going to fight like that. But I do think some act of domestic terrorism might pop up because people are not going to be angry for long. They're not going to take too much. Like I say, you can't suppress the human spirit too long before people that feel slighted react in a certain type of way. How they gonna react, I don't know. But I'm definitely watching.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying, man. Right now, man, an intellectual man or a woman is gonna look at this scenario and say, "Wow, we've got a whole lot of angry people." You know what I mean? At the end of the day, man. See, the way I look at a lot of people get mad when somebody says something somebody doesn't like. You gotta understand that you may, okay, for example, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I know people in my life that will be considered part of black national groups. You know what I'm saying? That would, if they didn't know me off of our experience, would call me an abomination. We'll just call it that. We'll call it like that. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. You know, and I feel like they have the right to say what they want, you know, and feel how they feel. As long as you don't take that to me and my family, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like you can you know, you can feel some way in your own home. Just don't, like that flag says, don't tread on me. You know, just let me live. You know what I mean? That's it. You may not like my mixed family. Well, guess what? You ain't got to. You know what I mean? I mean, facts. You know, but people want to put everybody in a certain spot.
I think the last time we was touching on a point, I was making a point of thinking that it do exist, and I think that it has been going on for like the last maybe 5 to 10 years, and it's just now bubbling to the surface to where everybody having a chance to kind of like see it. And Asmi, I think that he touched on a point that that the people who are in power are becoming more visible, and we kind of have a chance to see what they're doing and to kind of like see what's going on. So that's probably the reason why some of this stuff is coming out, you know. And I think that this civil war is between different groups of white people, you know what I mean, and that don't like each other's politics and stuff, you know. And as far as where I lie, You know, I'm an American, so at the end of the day, we live in a republic, and this is a capitalist society. So my focus is securing enough money for my family.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people they get
That's
so caught up. They get caught up in government so much that they don't understand that a lot of it has to do with self improvement. You know, and that really it bothers me as somebody who believes in liberty. But like I was saying, though, man, yeah, it's just the situation right now, man. I can only just pray that we can get through this, man, because at the end of the day, I like running water and electricity. you know,
Hey,
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, there's been plenty of different regimes that have come and gone, and for whatever reason, they feel like they need to put people in places, and they really don't know how to do their job, and then it really goes to shit. You've seen it with the farms in Poland and in Eastern Europe, when the communists happened, and I'm afraid we might see something like that here. And saying that, Oak, you want to wrap it up with some wise words, sir, of the
sure, why
current
not?
climate?
Sure, why not? Sure. The way that I see this thing pushing, right, is what do they call it? A global wage. Um, they're already conditioning people to just take the money and not have to work,
Oh, the Great
and the
Reset, the
things they
Great
call it.
Reset,
We'll
the
go with
Great
that.
Reset that they keep
And
talking about.
people are realizing how how not valuable their jobs are. Like if you work at Burger King, you're an essential worker, but you know what I'm saying. Whatever job you're getting $200,000 a year for, it's not valid. I read a report. I'm gonna say this. I read a report that said in December 2000 there was 100,000 jobs lost, and it was all women. That was the headline. I read the story. It was because they go on aggregate. Every time they talk about women, it's on aggregate. So it's 250,000 jobs lost, but guys got 17,000 jobs back, women get those jobs back, and they call it sexism. They don't say it's because they're not essential workers, because people are working from home and you can at the crib. They're saying that uh, are being removed, eliminated from the workforce, and all of these types of inflammatory messages with no context is pushing, especially liberals, to believe that everything is bad. Big business is bad. Government is bad. Men are bad. Kids are bad. Cities bad. Everything's bad. And what do you do for victims? You compensate them. So as much as they put the victimhood in, as you got Biden, they're going right back to this. What they want to do is they want to reduce the cost of this so that it can even out with global plane. But they can't do that because they have too many social services, if that makes sense. Like take us back down to 650 an hour, which is probably the base like everybody can eat, because as long as you have things like Section 8 and I'm not these programs, I'm just saying the more programs you have to subsidize the fact that you're getting rid of everybody else, that you're getting rid of the the technical skills people, you're getting rid of what they call nuclear families. You know what I'm saying? You're getting rid of all the things that nobody's taking there for that. So now you have to pay 5 people to do the job that your mom used to do. Somebody got to feed you, somebody got to educate you, somebody got to house you, somebody got to do all this, and everybody wants to get paid for that. So they can't go all the way down to 650, because then they would have to change the dynamics of how they price everything else. So what they're going to do instead is they're going to give you a base pay just enough to be an indentured servant. You know what I'm saying? Almost like sharecropping. and then they're gonna keep on playing, and they're gonna keep you concentrating on sex, like your sexuality, you know what I'm saying, your sexual proclivity. They're gonna keep you concentrating on your lowest base things, sex, food, entertainment. They just surf them.
So let me wrap this up, man. I really appreciate everybody that hung around, everybody that participated in the discussion. Long story short, man, we're pretty much in an accord in regards to we need government out of our life for the most part, in order for us to flourish. You know, and free market is the free market. You know what I mean? I look at it like that, you know. So I don't know, man. Again, I appreciate everybody for showing up, man. Thanks Oak and Brim for sticking around to the end, man. And I hope people can actually take an idea of what we're talking about here, you know. And it's funny how, you know, we come from something similar, but we're not pushing a certain narrative, you know. We're just giving ideas out there, man. So I really appreciate you all for showing up, man, and getting through the technical difficulties that we had tonight, man, to have this important discussion. So again, thank everybody out there for tuning in to Public Discord. Brim, Oak, since you're the last ones, man, plug what you got.
Hey, I love you. Can't wait to the next one.
Thanks, brother.
I
Oak, you
got some. Nah, I'm gonna keep on raps to the next time, man. So
all
you know,
right.
I got the tribe up stuff and I got tolerology stuff, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna save it.
All right, thanks, fam. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and be safe out there, man. God bless you. Peace.